Murrow News 8 starts now.
Studios on the campus of Washington State University. This is Murrow News 8.
Good evening, I'm Celeste Harms.
And I'm Yolanda Lee. Welcome to Murrow News 8.
Bringing you an update on the Dan Hargraves case. Whitman County Superior Court Judge Gary Leiby declared a mistrial in the case against the former Pullman Police Department sergeant last night. According to Moscow Pullman Daily News, the jury of 12 could not agree on a verdict. This means the prosecutor's team will have to consider whether to try Hargraves in court again. Hargraves was charged with a custodial sexual misconduct after an 18-year-old WSU student accused him of sexually assaulting her while she was intoxicated and in his custody in March 2018.
The contaminated water from the city of Airway Heights was declared safe by the Center for Disease Control. Airway Heights community had a meeting Thursday about the exposure assignments of having contaminated water near Fairchild Air Force Base. The Center for the Disease Control says students have shown that exposure of those chemicals may affect infants and older children. Also, it may affect women's chance of getting pregnant and increase the risk of cancer. According to the Center for Disease Control, they want to teach the community know about the levels of chemicals in their bodies and explain the impact of the exposure. People will be eligible for blood and urine tests to assess their exposure if they drank and used the water.
Washington State is suing President Donald Trump for using military defense money to fund the border wall. This all started after Trump declared there was a national emergency at the southern border. According to KXLY, an $89 million Department of Defense project is being put on hold to help pay. They say Attorney General Bob Ferguson and Governor Jay Inslee filed the lawsuit.
It's the third home football game of the year in Pullman, and some tailgaters are still trying to figure out where to park. Murrow News 8 Andrew Bartline reports on the efforts of a major change for RV parking on a budget.
It's tailgate season at Washington State. Friends, food, and football. Alumni flood into town by the masses eager to reminisce and watch the Crimson and Gray. To get a premium tailgate spot near the stadium, you'd better donate handsomely to the Cougar Athletic Fund and endure the wait list, a rite of passage for some. But for these fraternity brothers, it's a helping hand from alumni that make it all happen.
The guy who gives us his passes, when he's out of town, he gives us his passes, and that's how we're able to tailgate down in the main lot. And outside of that, we never do tailgate unless it's given to us.
As for those unable to roll snake eyes, this annual fall tradition might come to an end. The Pullman Walmart atop Bishop Boulevard has enacted a new store policy this year, contrary to the national retailer's practice. Simply put, no overnight camping.
I heard about it. I didn't really hear the specifics, and at first I did think it wasn't true, because that is one of the main sources of the tailgate community.
Recent as last year, you'd see 24 RVs in this lot on Thursday for a weekend game. That's proposing the question under Walmart's new policy, where are all these tailgates going?
The options are limited and forcing some to get creative. Pullman's RV park is a short walk from downtown, though all 19 spots are booked for the entirety of the 2019 season and must be booked a full year in advance for special weekends.
I think it just makes it harder for fans to do their thing when it comes to Cougar football Saturday. And I think that's rather unfortunate because it was a staple for a lot of people and their Cougar football traditions.
Reporting for Murrow News 8, Andrew Bartline.
American gun maker Colt announced it would stop producing rifles for customs. The company says they made the change for economic reasons. Colt says the market is saturated with modern supporting rifles. Colt says the company is still a strong supporter of the Second Amendment, and the pivot away from rifles is not permanent.
The Women's Center at the University of Idaho held its first Take Back the Night march on Thursday night. The purpose of the march is giving survivors of sexual assault voices to speak. After the march, attendees have the chance to hear a free discussion of issues of sexual assault, misconduct, and harassment, and general feminism issues. The grant project director at the Women's Center says, quote, "When we're asked why this is important, as long as our students want us to keep doing it, we're going to keep doing it," end quote.
A correction from our newscast on Thursday. A Washington teen was arrested after his mom found his journal with plans to attack the school. Instead of the plans to attack the school on Thursday, he was rather planning on the attack to be on the anniversary of Columbine High School in April.
Battalion Chief Mike Zainfeld of Cowlitz 2 Fire and Rescue died in the line of duty yesterday. Battalion Chief Zainfeld joined Cowlitz 2 Fire and Rescue as a fire cadet in September of 1994. He was hired full-time with the department in 2010, where he quickly climbed to the ranks of Battalion Chief. The cause of his death is unknown at this time, and additional information will be made public with the approval of his family. And also, the Cowlitz Battalion Chief's death comes just 2 days after the death of North Whitby Fire and Rescue's Chief Tim Lemon. Chief Lemon passed away Tuesday morning after a short battle with pancreatic cancer. Chief Lemon took over the North Whitby Fire Chief on August 12th of this year. Chief Lemon's fire service spanned 39 years, with work in a variety of fire departments across the state of Washington.
A 25-year-old woman was killed in a rollover car crash west of Colfax early this morning. According to KXLY, the car was traveling eastbound on State Route 28 about 30 miles west of Colfax when it left the roadway. It rolled 30 feet down in an embankment. The Washington State Patrol identified the victim as Brittany Lee Rooney of Cambridge. Troopers said only one car was involved in the crash, and that 45-year-old Norma G. Rooney was also in the car but was not injured.
Find out how to see the WSU football team in a new light
when Murrow News 8 returns.
Dad, they took over my bedroom. Come on, come on. Okay, Dad. 1, 2, 3. You saved me. Dad?
Are you okay?
I'm fine, dear.
Your hero needs you now, and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
There. Can I tell you a cat joke? Just kidding. Why did the girl ask the mushroom to dance? Because he was a fun guy. What do you call a pig that knows karate? Pork chop. Why was the basketball court all wet? Why? Because the players kept dribbling all over it. Can I tell you another one? So how does a tissue dance? Put a little boogie on it. What's Beethoven's favorite fruit? Banana. What is a boxer's favorite drink? Fruit punch.
WSU football takes on UCLA in Martin Stadium tomorrow. UCLA's team is currently 0-3 in head coach Chip Kelly's second season. WSU football is ranked 19th in the nation and has won all 3 of its games so far this season. Anthony Gordon will continue his legion as a starting quarterback. The showdown will take place tomorrow at 7:30 p.m. Now, Sean O'Connor has the game day forecast. Hey, Sean, what's the weather is going to be tomorrow?
Hey, John. Thank you. So the game tomorrow starts at 7:30. The high tomorrow will be right around 69, but with a late game like that, you really care more about the low. It's going to be around 46 degrees. And you're going to so you might want to pack a coat as you hope to see Washington State keep their undefeated record going. And hopefully they can keep their hot start rolling and go to 4-0 against UCLA. Back to you, John.
Thanks, Sean. The next, HBO released a date. The Washington State University Cougars will be followed by HBO show called 24/7 College Football. HBO announced yesterday they will be in Pullman of the week of homecoming against the Colorado Buffaloes, with the show airing on October 23rd. WSU is one of the 4 schools that HBO will be following. The other team, Florida Gators, Pennsylvania State University Nittany Lions, and Arizona State Sun Devils. Eastern Washington University Eagles receive an individual private gift by a businessman. Jack Gillingham, a Cheney resident who owns several businesses on the West Plains and Spokane, donate $5 million to let Eagles to renovate for their football stadium. Gillingham says to a EW press release that he sees the vision and team chemistry through EW athletic department and wanted to step up for them. WSU women's soccer is ready to face Pepperdine and make their 7th win on Sunday. Number 24 ranked Cougs overwhelmed the University of Hawaii last Thursday for their 6th win. Pepperdine tied against UCLA last Thursday. It led 3 games won, 3 games lost, 2 games drew. The head coach Todd Schulenberg told the Daily Evergreen that he is looking forward to improve the team's possession before heading to the Pac-12 part of season. Cougs will be back to the Palouse on September 28th against Oregon State Ducks, and Pac-12 will be airing the game. The Seahawks aim to take on New Orleans Saints this Sunday in Seattle. Russell Wilson strong on the arm, but who will be starting quarterback for the Saints? Saints head coach Sean Payton has not disclosed who will be replacing Drew Brees after his injury last week. Eyes are set up backups Teddy Bridgewater or Taysom Hill. The Seahawks 2-0 record are going up against Saints. WSU volleyball is playing in a tournament this weekend at the University of Texas, Rio Grande Valley. The Cougs beat Houston Baptist 3-0. The Cougs play the host team later tonight and Texas Southern tomorrow morning. The New York Yankees clinched the AL East Division for the first time since 2012. The Yankees were the first American League team to clinch a division title this season. The wild card races are fierce in both leagues. 3 teams are separated by 2 games for 2 wild card spots in both leagues. The National Central League Division title is still up for grabs as well, with 3 teams within 4 games of the division lead.
Sean O'Connor has your weekend weather.
When Murrow News 8 continues.
1 in 3 adults has pre-diabetes. 1 in 3. That means it could be you, your favorite brother, your other brother, you, your football buddy, your football buddy, you, the boss's boss. If 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes, that means it could be you, your barber, your barber's barber.
Nice work.
Thanks.
You, your plumber.
Breathe right into your foot.
Your plumber's masseuse.
Yes.
You, your dog walker.
On your left.
Your cat jogger. Or you, your co-pilot. Your co-pilot's co-pilot. While 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes, with early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org to know where you stand.
Let me tell you about the toughest guy on earth. He does the work of 2 jobs, but only gets paid for 1. He's tough enough to feed the man that gave him a lifetime of nourishment. He has the crazy strength to lift the man that raised him up without even flinching. That's right. No employee of the month bonus check here. This guy, no, this warrior, will always be by his father's side. even if his dad will hardly remember. Good luck finding a gym to train for that. If this guy isn't the toughest guy on the planet, then I don't know who is. Caregiving is tougher than tough. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
Welcome back to Murrow News 8. We're going to toss it over to Sean O'Connor at our Weather Center. Sean, how's the forecast looking?
Thanks, Celeste. So the forecast for the next, or rather, Pullman woke up this morning to some cloudy skies with some rain, with a early sunset around, or early sunrise rather, 6:30. The days are getting shorter as we enter fall. We'll get down to about 43 degrees tonight, so a bit of a chilly night as we start to enter this fall weather. Let's take a look at the 5-day or the state map. Look at some forecasts around the area. As we mentioned earlier, tomorrow high of 69. It'll get cooler towards game time. Over on the west side of the mountains, high 60s, 68 in Olympia, 67 in Seattle. As we move over to Central Washington, we warm up a little bit, 76 in Yakima, 77 in Tri-Cities. And then over on the east side, actually a little cooler than Central Washington, 69 in Spokane and 64 degrees in Pullman, Washington. Let's take a look at our 5-day forecast. As we mentioned, on Saturday, 70 degrees, nice and warm, but it'll get chillier around game time. And we will start to see some rain on Sunday. 66 is your high, 50 degrees for your low. We'll see some afternoon to evening rain on Monday. Your morning should be pretty clear, high of 66, and low to 50s to high 40s are your low all week. Partly cloudy on Tuesday. Will warm up a little bit to 66, get a little cooler on Wednesday. 64 degrees and warm up to 48 degrees that night. Speaking of Wednesday weather, the Pullman Farmers Market is this Wednesday. Kevin Gonzalez went out to the farmers markets to find out what was so special about this Pullman event.
Just a small place with a few stands. What might not appear as much is an ever-growing community that comes together every Wednesday from late spring to the middle of autumn at the Brailsford WSU Visitor Center. The Pullman Farmers Market brings the Pullman community locally grown food and products, and also lets them meet the people that make them.
It's very community-oriented. You get to know everybody, other customers get to know their customers. You get to know all the vendors, and you can actually get to know people really well.
Getting to interact with people buying their food also let the vendors find people that become frequent customers.
Our market's super family-friendly. We have vendors who not only bring their kiddos to market, but we have a lot of our core customers that are young families.
But when students come back to school, they do see an increase of customers and can help students and how they think about food.
It's nice to have them come in too and talk about how they're preparing food as opposed to like a family style. They're going to look for different things, and I like finding something that'll work for them. I mean, somebody who has maybe a microwave, maybe a mini fridge, maybe nothing.
The vendors themselves make up their own community, and for some, they get most of the food for their homes from the other vendors.
Vendors at the farmers market may also want to buy something that other vendors are selling, but instead of just buying it, they may trade things. Say, trade this pack of bacon for cucumbers and other fruits and vegetables.
Rain or shine, the market will be open every Wednesday until October 16th. Kevin Gonzalez.
Market's closed!
Murrow News 8.
The Palouse Regional Transportation Planning Organization started its Safe Driving campaign today. The Palouse Driver Safety Summit aims to educate young drivers about safety on the road. There are driving instructors and law safety and enforcement officers to attend.
It's really important to be talking about driver safety. It takes everyone to make our roads safe, and it starts with from engineering all the way up to personal behavior on the roadways.
The Area 51 raid was today. Find out what happened.
When Murrow News 8 continues.
Days, months,
Hey, I'm Jim from across the street.
years,
I'd like to give you this.
a lifetime can rush by without realizing what we're missing. But it doesn't have to be that way. We have a choice to take action. Visit maketheconnection.net to find out more.
Can I tell you a cat joke? Just kidding. Why did the girl ask the mushroom to dance? Because he was a fun guy. What do you call a pig that knows karate? Pork chop. So how does a tissue dance? Put a little boogie on it.
Well, today is the day. Hundreds are standing at the border of Area 51 for the raid of the top secret military base. So far, just 2 Dutch YouTubers have been arrested on account of trespassing. The raid started out as a Facebook event titled Storm Area 51, They Can't Stop Us All. Created by a California college student, over 2 million people responded to the event saying that they were going. So far, though, only a few hundred people made their way to Groom Lake, Nevada, with 75 standing at the gate at 3 this morning, the time scheduled for the event. The U.S. military and law enforcement are taking the event very seriously, warning raiders that trespassing could land them in prison for up to 6 months or result in a $500 fine. Their threats seem to keep most people in the comfort of their own home, while only the diehards showed up. One man claimed his few seconds of fame by Naruto running past this KTVN news reporter here. Naruto running was the proposed method of evasion on the event Facebook page. Though the event did not live up to any of the hype, this man's effort will serve as a memory of the day people almost stormed Area 51.
A former American Airlines mechanic tried to sabotage a 150-passenger plane in Miami. Prosecutors charged the man for purposefully disabling a Boeing 737. Prosecutors say the man may have links to terrorists and is due to enter a plane in Miami federal court. Investigators says they have evidence of the man's connections to the Islamic State and says he admitted to having a brother in religious extremist groups. The defendant says he did it because he was upset with a labor dispute and not receiving overtime pay. He faced 20 years if convicted.
We'll be right back with Murrow News 8.
When Murrow News 8 continues.
Who is very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where nothing could get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. It made him feel uncomfortable. One day, he found out he had something called autism. His family got him help, and slowly, he learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
Days, months,
Hey, I'm Jim from across the street.
years,
I'd like to give you this.
a lifetime can rush by without realizing what we're missing. We lose some of the best moments, some that may never repeat,
Come on.
or detach from people around us. Our loved ones grow used to this pattern, but it doesn't have to be that way. We have a choice to take action. It's never too late to live a full life again. Hear how many of us Vietnam veterans have managed our mental health and reconnected with our families. Visit maketheconnection.net to find out more.
I'll never forget the day our landlord called and said, read your lease. No pets allowed. My owner tells him my dog ate the lease, but that didn't work. And now I'm stuck in a shelter. But this pit bull is ready for a new crib. I'm loving, loyal, and play well with others. So don't be intimidated by all my muscles, because the biggest one I have is my heart. That's right, I said it.
Welcome back to Murrow News 8. A WSU alum has been named as a national ambassador for science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, otherwise known as STEM. According to Moscow Pullman Daily News, the new ambassador is 24-year-old Jordana Damon. She is one of 125 ambassadors for an initiative that aims to further women in STEM by empowering the current generation and inspiring the next generation. Damon will also compete at the Miss Idaho USA pageant in October. She graduated from WSU in 2017. And a heads up to the people who drive on US Highway 195. According to the Moscow Pullman Daily News, the northbound lane of US Highway 195, 5 miles north of Steptoe, will be closed next Tuesday and Wednesday. Washington State Department of Transportation says when the lane is closed, drivers can have single-lane alternating traffic with flagging operations and with a vehicle width restriction of 12 feet. All right, well, it's heading into game day weekend, you guys, and I know that I'm really excited for the Cougs to take on UCLA. How are you feeling?
I think we're going to win. Yeah, we should win this last game before the weather starts to really turn. So get out there and enjoy the game.
Absolutely. Should be a fun one and hopefully a little bit of sunshine during the day.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah. All right, well, thank you so much for watching tonight, and be sure to watch our live newscasts at nwpb.org/MN8 and on Cable 8 at 7 and 10.
And don't forget, you can also follow Murrow News 8 on Facebook and Twitter.
Have a good night.